because that prize money goes to all the other expenses, more importantly, the bonuses, and you end up with nothing. Must worry about the next fixture to come. So it's not a very interesting, exciting job to be a chairman of the club or CEO of the club or owner of the club. But it's also very important that also the people that are also hard-pressed about our decisions we take is the fans, the supporters. Also very important for them to share in the pain. We thought there's something innovative that we must come up in the PSL as a continuation of the innovation that is there already in the market, to create something unique for the supporters to be involved in this discussion creating. As custodian of or being part of the live content business, it's also very important that these kind of innovations, they keep on coming up, because we benchmark ourselves about the rest of the world, because if we don't do that, people turn and they go to other channels. They forget listening to you because, as I always say in my description, you cannot, dry today's washing with yesterday's sun. You must always the time be adaptive. So what we have done in the PSL, we have agreed that, in the EXCO, that there is a need that we come up with something very interesting, which is going to happen this January, from the 22nd to the 29th of January. What is it? We decided that there are going to be 4 streams, or 4 teams, made up of Coastal 1 and Coastal 2. Now, who's Coastal 1? Coastal 1 is the team from KZN, Golden Arrows, Amazulu, Royal AM, and cheaper because it's in the coast, but it's all by itself. Maritzburg and cheaper.
Maritzburg, Royal AM, Amazulu, Golden Arrows.
Yes. Oh, yes. Inland 2 is, Coastal 2 is cheaper, yes, it's cheaper. Cape Town City, Stellenbosch. And we came a bit innovative to take one team from the north, Limpopo, Baroka, to be Inland 1, Coastal 2. Now, Inland 1 is going to be Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Morocco Swallows, and TX Galaxy. Inland 2 is going to be Mamelodi Sundowns, SuperSport United, Sekhukhune, and Marumo Gallants. That is Inland 2. So what's going to happen there, we've decided that, let's agree that in all these streams, we're going to ask, each team to make available their players, except for those that are called for the AFCON. They won't be available, that are called for the AFCON. That is going to be a pool of players that are going to be set out, in the public for selection of a team from Coastal 1 to make up, a team. Coastal 1, Coastal 2, Inland 1, Inland 2. We're going to have 4 teams. Now, what's going to happen, you're going to have a choice by the supporters to choose. Because now they are sitting on the other side to say what combination they think is best. But what we have done, we've asked, the teams to, to assist us in making sure on the database we have on the registered players who plays what positions. So we don't want it where the supporters, they choose all defenders, all strikers, all midfielders. So they must choose in terms of the 3 categories, defense, the middle, and the upfront players, to assist us to come with a number, which I'm going to talk about it now. Then just going to go for all the other streams that we've identified already. So what is important is that, in each team we're going to have about, 5 players into the block, together with a player from the disc to be included. But what we're going to do, we're going to ask the teams, to give us 4 players in their disc teams, which are going to be selected, the player to be in the But it's going to be those that are going to be remaining in the 4. They're going to remain as part of the team, because we said at any given time there must be a disc player in the team. to make sure that, what we have invested in this pipeline is given an opportunity to make sure that, those players, they get exposure, we can identify with those players. But also the issues of goalkeepers. There'll be 2 goalkeepers selected, from all the teams to make sure that there's a reserve goalkeeper and the starting goalkeeper. But also the issue of the technical team. The coach and the assistant coach is going to be selected by the supporters also. To make sure that we've got the coach of the Inland Coastal 1, Coastal 2, and the assistant Coastal 1, Coastal 2. All the coaches are going to go into the pot. The supporters who's going to be identified after voting is going to be asked to come and do the draw himself. Who's going to be the coach for the Coastal 1, Coastal 2, Coastal 3, Coastal 4. So those details are going to be ironed out by the team that is sitting here next to me. But what is important also, we have agreed that the technical team that is belonging to other teams are going to be part of the technical team, support team. They're not going to be thrown away. They're going to be part of the support of that technical team. On the issues of the doctors, we're going to have independent doctors and physiotherapists to make sure that there's no issues, that we have independent doctors and independent physiotherapists to assist. So to make sure that we have this exciting atmosphere of this innovative idea to get the supporters to tell us from Chiefs and Pirates which players can play together. All in all, we're going to have a squad of about 26 players of all the teams, the 4 teams. We've got 104 teams are going to be players are going to be having in camp. The details will be expressed by the CEO and the chairman of the competitions committee to indicate what is it. So this competition is going to be called in the Dstv Compact Cup to make sure that it generates that kind of excitement. Other details are going to be discussed by Mark Jury. It's going to give us further details, because the exciting kind of accompanying innovations that we have come up with. I don't want to steal the show because it's a long day to discuss a lot of other issues. So I don't have left anything out. I didn't leave anything. I left the cream in the excitement, for my CEO, and depending on the question, of course, that's going to come up. But all in all, we've got now this Dstv Compact Cup, which is the innovation that has been there. But the issues of the announcement of when the voting going to start is going to come up, with the team to come and announce when is the closing date, when is the selection date of the teams themselves. All that's going to be announced, by the team sitting here. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, is the announcement that we have called you for today. The Dstv Compact Cup, we started on the 22nd of January to the 29th of January. I think there's going to be 3 matches, if I'm not mistaken. So that you must have a knockout competition, then there comes, other things coming forward. I don't want to take everything away from the guys. You must have something to talk about. I don't want to monopolize the space. If I was alone, I was going to talk about everything. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, the Dstv Compact Cup. Let's go then through some of the rules of the competition, how it comes about. It involves the viewers, it involves the fans as well. It's a fantastic opportunity then to get involved. This is unique in many ways that you can look at it, and this cup will, of course, showcase all the talent that we have in the 16 Premier Soccer League teams. For the fans, it's really interesting to get to know who do you think can play together in competitions. Now, these are the regions that the chairman was talking about. This is the regional group format. You see then the regions, the Coastal Group 1 and the Coastal Group 2, of course, and then you're looking at those inland teams and how Baroka, as an exception, got also to be included as you pick the teams, of course, to put the combinations together, the players, so that then you do not have a team that has that is not really balanced. You want proper balance. You want to get your left back playing in the right position, your wingers playing in the right position. You want to get the balance with the strikers and your midfielders. You want those creative players to be in combinations. This is how the players are going to be selected by the fans. It's a viewer's choice. I know the details are going to be coming through the mill a little bit later on, but there's also big prize money. Now, this for me is really interesting. When I read this earlier, I saw R1 million. I was like, one fan gets to do that? Yeah, there it is then, because this is the prize money that we are talking about, and you must, of course, be a subscriber to Dstv Compact. At this stage, please allow me to introduce MultiChoice CEO South Africa, Mr. Nico Shiburi. I want to find out something first, Mr. Shiburi. DStv Premiership, now DStv Compact Cup. Why the DStv Compact Cup so soon after taking over the league?
Thank you, Pumlani. Thanks for the great question. Our partnership with the PSL goes a very long way, and we continuously look for ways that we can make the competition and the football in South Africa get bigger and better. So for us, it's not just about the time. It's about how do we continuously extend this great partnership that we have with the PSL to make sure that the game continues to grow. So that's the reason behind the DStv Compact Cup, the viewer's choice.
The duration of this competition, is this a long-term partnership, or it's just a once-off now in January, then we're done?
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, for us, we're quite excited first to come up with this competition in January, and we're very excited, and we think that it'll be a great success. And as we continuously do working with the PSL, we continuously look for ways to innovate going forward and how we can make the sport bigger and the football bigger and greater.
Which brings me really to my next question. How did it come about, the DStv Compact Cup, and to involve the viewers?
No, do you want to take this question?
Pumlani, you happy that I take that?
Yeah.
I think behind this mask there's a big smile. I think the chairman talked about football being here to create conversation, and I think the one thing that is very dear to this partnership between ourselves and the PSL is always putting the needs of the fan front and center. And the fans are our DStv customers, and obviously they are the ones that are supporting the teams week in and week out. And I suppose similar to when we launched the MultiChoice Diski Challenge and now the DStv Diski Challenge, to Nico's point and to what the chairman said, we're always looking at innovative new ways to bring the fans closer to the game, and we feel that, you know, the DStv Compact Cup, given the voting mechanism and the way in which we're going to bring fans in to not only select and choose the teams, but also select and choose the team names, is a way to really allow them the power and the control that they all crave every single week. And now we're affording them that opportunity to have a big say in the team selection.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mark Jury, the CEO of SuperSport. Maybe then, Mark, let me stay with you on this one. When you're talking about innovations, what more can we expect? If I'm a viewer, if I'm a fan of a football club, what more can I expect? My involvement in the DStv Compact Cup, because I love the fact that it says it's the viewer's choice. What more can I do to get involved?
Pumlani, so from today, so from the 13th to the 19th of December, we're going to be opening up across the SuperSport and DStv digital media platforms to encourage fans to come through. The chairman touched on the inland 1 and 2 and the coastal 1 and 2, to encourage fans to put forward their suggestions on team names. We initially, when we sat around the table, we started discussing what the brands and what we should call the team names, and we said, well, if we're going to be truly creating conversation, let's throw that open to the fans. And so we're encouraging fans to, over the course of the next week, to put forward their suggestions of the team names. Then from December the 20th, via either a USSD platform or through the SuperSport website, we're going to be encouraging fans to come through and select the different squads across those 4 teams. And you know, the chairman touched on getting the right balance. I think all of us are the biggest armchair critics at home. You know, we've always got our favorite teams. We've always got our favorite players. Now you've got the added complexity that you're going to try and mix the skill sets from. You know, you're going to be having Maritzburg United and Arrows, and you're getting your favorite players together. So in a way, it's almost, I suppose, following an all-stars concept to get, you know, the best players from across the country in various positions competing against each other, and also that complexity of, you know, we're finally going to see Chiefs and Pirates players together running out on the same pitch, trying to win the game together as opposed to playing against each other.
Now, I don't know, between Mark and Nico, I saw, and I'm sure you saw it too, that they put a graphic up there with an information that says there is prize money. So I don't know, Mr. Shibu, you want to talk about prize money, please?
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'll take that question. There's two prizes basically up for grabs. The main prize is obviously the R1 million that you get if you're existing.
Sorry, Mr. Shibu, that I get.
No. No, that if you vote Pumlana, of course, you can stand a chance. So you stand a chance to get 500,000 if you're not a DStv customer. But if you're an active DStv customer during that time, then the prize money is R1 million.
It's exciting for the viewer, it's exciting for the fans. Mr. Jury, please, if you look at our season now, even that which we're having now is the DStv Premiership, the exciting games that we're seeing, I know that there is more innovation. So in line with this DStv Compact Cup, it doesn't really stop. There is more to look forward to.
Absolutely, Pumlani. I think just in terms of the DStv Premiership, we've got 2 very critical weeks in the lead up to the festive season break. And I think we're going to be looking forward to a number of different and new elements coming into play in that regard. But I think then really looking to foster this fan engagement, which is something that we don't encounter every single day. And so, I think come the end of January, and hopefully we're going to see that through the voting process, as Nico says, for R1 million up for grabs to be able to choose your favorite football team. That certainly is an incentive enough for football fans around the country and for DStv subscribers to put forward their favorite teams for selection for the DStv Compact Cup.
Thank you so much, gentlemen and the lady. Maybe at this point then, let's open the floor to questions, or Dr. Khoza has more to say. Dr. Khoza, please.
There's one element that I missed out, which, when they talk about prize money. The winning team of the 4 teams is going to get R1 million. The winning team of the 4 teams is going to get R1 million. So I thought I must also mention that one.
There it is. Fatwani, you have questions?
Yes, Mr. Msibi, thanks. Let me give Utepo an opportunity here. Tepo from ENC.
Thanks, Fatu. To the chair, in terms of where the tournament is going to be played, have you decided on that? The location? Thanks.
No, the location hasn't been decided where the game is going to be played, but as soon as we get to that stage, we will let the public know.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to go to the questions on WhatsApp. The journalists joining us from home. Chairman, just a quick off-ramp. Just those 2 questions from John T. Mark, Mazola Molife, as well as Sandile that they've posed here, mainly to okay, let's just give the chairman a chance to make a note.
I'm more comfortable here.
Okay, thank you. I thought we should deal with these ones before we carry on. It's mainly a repetitive question about the Chiefs matter. There's also a question about the alleged resignations, as well as one about the incident at Orlando Stadium on Saturday. Quite a few people have asked them, but it's just repetitive.
I knew that the press conference was supposed to be the announcement, but this was bound to come. I think it's very important that the public, obviously expect, a response from the league on the matter that affects, Kaizer Chiefs and the other teams that are participating in those fixtures. I think it's very important that it's not an easy matter. It's a matter that, was dealt with by the football department and was escalated, to the EXCO. It requires a lot of attention to detail to make sure that the adjudication on this matter must be seen to have been given a thorough process and evaluation, because it talks about issues that are very interesting, because we're a rules-based organization. Everything is easy because you just refer to the rules, compliance manual or the handbook for answers. But there are situations that occur in our normal life that requires us to apply our mind, and especially on a matter that's got a lot of debate on life and livelihoods. So at this point in time, I can say that, we've convened, I think it's the fifth meeting, tomorrow. Because we've met, on the Thursday. We met Thursday on this matter, which was 3 meetings before. We referred the matters back, to the office to deal with the issues that we've raised. And we were told that, we're going to get the final, information that we require, if it's possible, today. And the meeting is convened for 11 o'clock tomorrow, what I'm told that tomorrow the meeting is going to take place here in the PSL to deal with the matter. Whether it's going to be the final day to adjudicate, I don't know, depending on the facts in front of us as an executive committee. So just to put this thing to rest, it's urgent, it's important, it gives a lot of uncertainty in the market. But everything we do for the interest of all the teams of the PSL. But also taking into account the issues of the sporting integrity, the issues of reputational management, the issues of stakeholders, There's so many things that we have to evaluate, on matters of this nature. But most important, our clubs comes first. When we apply our mind, we apply our mind to all the clubs equally. Therefore, it's very important that we cannot keep the clubs hanging, waiting, and the market waiting, and the whole infrastructure, economy, or ecosystem waiting. So I hope tomorrow we'll advance the matter faster, hopefully on the matters that are outstanding in terms of our evaluation of the facts. So upon tomorrow you issue maybe a communique to say a press conference or to continue with our discussion at the executive committee. On the issues of alleged resignations, yes, at this point in time, the prosecutor resigned and Mr. Michael Mayfield resigned. Now, I'm not going to go to the details because as chairman of the league, I always act responsibly and make sure with all the insinuations that always come up, you must take it to the chin because you understand. But it's important to suggest that, yes, there is resignations, but these resignations were not a responsibility or a cause of any one of us in the executive committee. We're not responsible. It's very important to make that, clear. But, it's important that, we have very good quality people working with us. You don't know, things might change, I don't know. But as this thing stands now, yes, these 2 resignations are separate, are not linked. I saw also they spoke about Yusuf Sef. Yusuf Sef was poached from us by FIFA. He's going to work for FIFA. I'm sorry, Mark, that we poached him from you. But you poached him from me when I was still chairman of the organizing committee of the World Cup. So it was quite interesting. He ends up with the FIFA, in that lane of the trend. So then for Yusuf said it's also going to FIFA. It's been poached now by FIFA. It's going to work for FIFA. Orlando Stadium obviously is a matter that don't reside in my competency. The CEO is here. I think he can answer this one because that resides with the CEO. I don't do day-to-day issues, so I think the CEO can answer this one.
Thank you, Chair. The matter happened over the weekend. We haven't received all the reports because we get reports after all the games, match commissioners, a feedback from clubs because we always get a safety report before the games. And then after that, we get the assessment, we get the reports. So not all the reports have been received by the league. As soon as we receive those reports, We work on them, and if they are to be referred, they are referred to different places. If they must be referred to legal, they go to legal. If they preferred, they get referred. So we haven't received everything. Thank you, Chair.
I must also add that during that incident, the team Sogazi phoned me and I had a discussion with him. Ends there.
Okay, now back to the competition. I think a question that is also repetitive here, but linked to the competition is one comes from Sandile from Soccer Gags. He says, is the PSL going to update their policies around the COVID situation since there's a surge in numbers? Will teams be going back into the bubble even for this competition? Tied in with one that's coming from Jabulongiti from New Frames, where he's asking about fans returning to the stadium. So it's on the opposite side. One is talking about whether fans will return, one is asking if there will be stricter regulations, especially with this tournament.
I think the protocols that are applying, in the league will apply also to those players that will be coming to camp. We always insist on clubs that before the start of every season, of every tournament, there must be testing. And that information must be sent to the chief medical officer of the league. The same is going to happen with the players coming to camp. All the protocols are going to apply as they're applying now in the league. Make sure that, they are safe. And the environment where they'll be, make sure that, it's properly monitored, that you allow no person from outside to be part of that setup. Insofar as the issues of the fans and whatever, I can't say much. That's all going to depend on the government, agreeing in terms of allowing us extra numbers. I must add that, as an executive committee, when we were given a number of 2,000, it was attractive to some people from outside. But it was also challenging to us as an executive committee because there's a requirement in terms of our contracts with our suppliers and sponsors, where sometimes a minimum of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tickets must be given to the sponsors. So how do we divide that number? Take into account also the allocation in terms of what has been allowed for teams to invite into the stadium. But that registration says that the total must be extra number of people, 2,000. So how to divide that 2,000? So the executive consciously said it's better to leave this to the support to sponsors and maintain the numbers that has been operative to be the one that prevailing, so that it makes it easy for us to manage until the numbers are increased. And that is why we've left it as that without changing, but give more the tickets to the sponsors and the suppliers.
Thank you, Chair. The next question is for Mr. Mark Jury. It's from Spiwe, from, just looking for his organization here, but he says, Mr. Mark Jury, won't the Dstv Compact Cup take away viewership from the AFCON experience, which SuperSport will be broadcasting?
A very good question. It's something we're going to take into mind in terms of how we schedule these fixtures. So we won't be scheduling them to ensure that there's any conflict. If anything, I think it's going to add to the football viewing over that period and ensure a local South African flavour to the football over that period as well. So if anything, we think it's going to complement the AFCON experience.
Okay, the next one is just clarity on the date of the competition. Maybe Mr. Matthews, you can take this one. When is the competition going to be played? I think just want to repeat it.
So the competition will be played from the 22nd to the 29th of January. Obviously, once the availability of stadiums is confirmed, then the kickoff times, like Mr. Yuri referred to, will be confirmed. So that it'll be the 22nd and 29th.
Okay, maybe
There's going to be 2 matches in terms of the semi-finals, and then a 3rd and 4th playoff and a finals. So 4 matches in total.
Okay, maybe just also if you can elaborate just on the player eligibility, you know, which players will be available for selection?
So again, obviously players that are selected for AFCON will not be available for selection. All fit and healthy players, obviously COVID, understanding the COVID situation, all fit and healthy players will be eligible for selection. The way they'll be selected is in position, so there will be squads of 26 in each of the 4 regions, making a total of 104 players. The principle of equality was very important to us, so the representation will be equal. In other words, 5 players from each of the 4 regional squads. That makes 20 players. Then 4 Dstv Challenge players, 1 from each team per region. So everybody gets 1 Dstv player in there. That makes 24. And then the 2 goalkeepers, the 2 most voted goalkeepers from the 4 teams of each region will be voted in, which makes a total of 26 players. So every regional squad will consist of the same number of players, broken down from equal number of teams. So the principle of equality was important. The principle of development in terms of the Dstv Challenge players was very important, and equal amongst all teams. Then, in terms of positions, there will be 8 defenders per squad, there will be 8 midfielders per squad, and there will be 4 forwards per squad. That's how the 20 names will be spread there, plus 2 goalkeepers and 4 Dstv Challenge players. So when the public votes, they'll be voting for the 8 defenders in the squad, the 8 midfielders in the squad, and the 4 forwards and the 2 goalkeepers in the squad. They'll also be voting for the 1 Dstv player per each team. So everything comes from the viewer's choice. The fans and the supporters will vote for all of those positions in that structured format. And the top 8 defenders, 8 midfielders, 4 forwards, and 2 goalkeepers will be selected per squad.
Okay, Mr. Msivi, that's it from the people that are at home. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Patron. Let me take this opportunity then and thank the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, Dr. Irvin Khoza, the CEO of SuperSport, Mr. Mark Jury, the acting CEO of the league, Ms. Matuma Dlala, Nico Shiburi, of course, the Multi-Choice South Africa CEO, and the chairman of the competitions committee there, Mr. Stan Matthews. That's it then from the Premier Soccer League headquarters. Before we go, here is the reminder then of what the Dstv Compact Cup gives an opportunity to the fans. Really interesting. This is how you get involved, and the details of how you're going to vote and get involved, as it is the viewer's choice, will be given to you at a later date. The competition starts on the 22nd up to the 29th of January. That's the regions that we are having, as clearly explained a little bit earlier on right here at the Premier Soccer League headquarters. It's the Dstv Compact Cup. Do get involved. Let me take this opportunity and say thank you so much. So, Dstv Compact Cup details will be coming to you shortly in all our platforms, how you, as a viewer, can get involved. From the Premier Soccer League headquarters, I am Phumlani Msibi. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What about the PSL platform?
You got me there.